So my second example here is one of these dynamic pages that integrates external XML content, CSS, and AJAX capabilities to build interactive content. But when I look at it in design view, it doesn't really look like that final experience. So what we've done is we've integrated a WebKit browser rendering engine directly into the application. So just with a click of the Live View button, I can then interact with it just like as if it was within a web browser. But also, we've taken it a little bit further. So I can take this content and also access Code Navigator within that to see all the styles that are in use. And if I want to see what's happening under the hood, with a click of this Live Code button, I can see everything that's happening that ordinarily would have been invisible to me. And I would have had to have done, I can only now do in CS4.
Again, we're short on time. There's a lot of other things I know that are also highlighted that you could spend time with if we get to the website. A few more things.
AJAX. We have really strong AJAX support, both for designers that want to integrate web widgets into their designs, and also for programmers that want code completion for very popular AJAX frameworks like Prototype. We also have a new capability for developers that are not quite up to date with XML. They're not ready for it. We've built capabilities for HTML tables to be used as sources of data for dynamic pages.
Excellent. Thanks, Doug.
Thanks, Johnny.
So again, in this space, in the interactive and web design space, we're really trying to improve the workflow between designer and developer. That is crunching down very tightly now. As you saw from Odapod and some of the things Doug showed you, we're trying to make that workflow be much simpler, much more streamlined. We're trying to give you better control of your assets. We're trying to make it more flexible with things like Air to give you more flexibility to do new things and pioneer new territories with application development. And then lastly, of course, we're pushing with Flash and that Flash platform. Just as a sidebar, the Air application count is now over 25 million Air applications are now installed. So again, we're trying to ride the wave of Flash with Air as well for distribution. And again, you'll take advantage of that. Lots more information available online. Please check it out. So the last segment we want to talk about is really around design and cross-media. And of course, this is Adobe's sweet spot. This is where our roots came from. In this area, we want to talk about the people that are going from print to web, which is every print shop I find is transitioning from print to web, or web to interactive. And they're trying to cut the time it takes to build or migrate the tools that they're building right now. There's a lot of people who are in the traditional print space who struggle with moving to interactive because of the challenges with that. So we have some key things we're doing. So again, what we wanted to do here was go outside and find someone who could actually represent this. So up in Portland, Oregon, today we have with us the Curiosity Group. So the Curiosity Group is based in Portland, Oregon. They're owned by Steve Klein-Tobe, who's, as I understand it, is a creative genius. They do editorial content, print content, interactive, motion graphics. They have a laundry list of customers or clients that include HP, Disney, Microsoft, and DreamWorks. So with that, I'd like to introduce a couple people from that team. I'm going to bring out Tim May and Yvonne Perez. Tim is the Senior Designer and Art Director, winner of the Cut and Paste Award up in Oregon recently. And Yvonne is actually the lead Senior Art Director. She has notable work in the print space, but she's also moving to the interactive space. So let's see what they've done. Yvonne? Hey, Yvonne. Hey, Tim. Okay, so like everyone else, you only guys had a week or two to actually play with some of the stuff. You let your guys in your shop take a look at it.
Yeah,
What'd you think?
It's been awesome. We've been playing with it, and the upgrades to it, the CS4 is amazing. We really love it.
Excellent.
The bad news is we're probably going to have to buy it for everybody on the staff now. So
always hate hearing that. So what are we looking at?
Well, what we've got right here is Picklebird. Picklebird is a campaign that we did for Hewlett-Packard. It's something that involves a printable book and a party kit.
Picklebird.
Picklebird. Let me introduce Picklebird here. Hi, Picklebird. One of the characters for the campaign. One of the things that CS4 allows this campaign to do is better reflect Curiosity Group's mission, which is to give everyday people creative experiences and thereby strengthen their ties to the brand. So I want to show you and jump right in. I'm in Illustrator right now, and for those of you familiar with Illustrator, it looks a little different. I have multiple artboards. This is going to be a huge improvement, particularly for us. I can create a new artboard on the fly. I can export these to any type of media. Here's a new workspace or new artboard there. Great. And I can go tabbing back applications. The tabs is actually a big time saver as well, or between the windows I've got there. It sort of cleans up the workspace. I'm kind of infamous for having about 17 windows open at the same time. Creative directors come over and look at me and give me the stink eye. So what I can do now with these multiple artboards is I can drag elements off real quick, say I want this over here. It's just a better way to work. And one of the tools that I think is really cool, I mean, there's a lot that I enjoyed, but one that I think is particularly applicable to the type of work that I like to do is the blob brush. Now, it's not a very elegant name.
Hey, blob brush, come on, I like it.
But it does really great things, particularly for quickly drawing or designing work. So I can start sort of scribbling here with the blob brush. Say I want to make a little wormy friend for Picklebird, and I can create a character. So cool, it looks like the other brushes. But the thing that's great about this, I'll zoom in, is that now I've got a path, and I can smooth that path out. I can do a lot of other things with it that will allow me to I can erase it if I want to. I don't like that edge of it. It's just a great way to have a filled path. Before, I would have had to use the pen tool and click, pull, click, pull. It would have taken forever to do anything worthwhile. But now, all of a sudden, I can sort of create this little character, and I'll see if I can give him a couple of elements that'll make him a little more interesting. Let's give him a pair of eyes and a mouth. There you go, a little wormy, blobby guy. And as an illustrator, it really is nice to just be able to sort of rapidly prototype things, put things together. I come from a painting background, and so another thing this does is sort of gives me a more painterly approach to creating shapes in Illustrator. I really enjoy just being able to sort of put things down, and it's a time saver.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So now we've talked a little bit about what's happened on the digital side with illustration. Maybe we talk about now we've got the print side, and what comes in and you're actually moving from the print space. Obviously, we've shown multiple pages here, but if you actually wanted to do a booklet where you had multiple pages, you're not going to use Illustrator, you're going to use InDesign. Exactly.
I'm going to use the layout program that I'm familiar with the most. Although Illustrator has some beautiful, wonderful new features, it's not logical that I would create a 16-page book in it. So, yes. So I'm going to place the artwork that Tim just did in my InDesign document. And it's basically the same way. You might be wondering, well, how can you place one element from multiple artboards? But it's pretty cool. It opens up this preview, and you can click through here and see the multiple artboards that we have in. And I can place the document either way. I want to place it with crop, trims, bleeds. I'm going to go for just the art, place that last page, and just draw and click. There he is. Another really great feature about InDesign is it has this live pre-flight here. So right now it's already telling me that I have an error. So every time you do create an error, it automatically shows up. So this is telling me there's something wrong with my text. I have an overset text and what page I'm going to. Page 13. Boom. This is really cool.
So this is basically pre-flight allows you to actually set parameters up. And then if you have, whether it's font or color or shape or whatever, you can actually set up a set of parameters. And anything that goes outside of those parameters alerts you then to avoid problems down the road.
Right. Yeah, no more surprises at press check, which is really,
Excellent.
Really nice. One of the great new features that I love about this is as far as I've been able to go with my skill set. I mean, I know Photoshop, Illustrator, and that, but if I need to take this to an interactive space, I have to use a different resource for that. And Adobe has created a new way for me to export this whole document, all 16 pages, into a Flash document.
But wait, so you have a print background,
yes.
Extensive work there, but now you're actually moving to Flash. So are there things that we have done in CS4 that have actually made it easier? Because one of the challenges with Flash has been that first step is a big step. Oh,
yeah, it's been really daunting for me to even try to get in there. And you guys have created just a simple export, and I'll tell you right here, it's called an XFL. I like to call it the
this particular
extreme
shot,
Flash
the background's
file.
made up of
So I'm
several
going to
clips of
save
P2
this,
footage. There's high dynamic
and I'm
range
going to be
photography
able to
in
open
there.
that
There's a lot of
file
effects and
up
stuff
in
going on.
Flash.
Something like this for a
Here
2-second
it
clip
is in
could take
Flash.
10,
There you are.
15
Looking
minutes.
good.
And
But when I-
Photoshop
you just saw me hop right back and forth
Just a little
and
bit.
check it.
But I'm still not familiar
Excellent.
with Flash
So
right now.
what else did you find that would be
Adobe's
useful
created
kind of-
these great features here where I can change the workspace. I'm going to change it to Designer. And this feels a little bit more comfortable for me. So here's my tool palettes. My pages are down here. And at this stage, I can go in by myself without anybody working in Flash and make late-stage editing. So I don't think you're 29 years old. So let's see. There you go. That smells like it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I can use this later. Chinatown.